something that I would like to share about myself, that is something that I've dealt with for a long time, is that I have learned in a way of self protection, in a way to self protect, to avoid triggering people, um, to avoid upsetting people, avoid judgment from people. Um, I've learned to be, I've learned certain patterns, behaviors, um, ways of talking, ways of thinking, ways of behaving and showing up in the world, and ways of expressing myself that I know from experience don't trigger people. But the thing is that the amount of energy and time and commitment and obsession that I've put into behaving these certain ways and being this facade, this person, this that I've created, in order to be socially acceptable, in order to get my needs met of acceptance, um, comes from a place of deep insecurity in who I really am. I think because I learned from a young age that, um, security, like, that it's not safe to be who I really am. And I think the thing is that this person is not who I truly am. Like, the person that I've created to be socially acceptable, the version of me that is likable, the version of me that is not triggering, the version of me that is inauthentic but also doesn't upset people. This version of me is not who I really am. It's something that I created in order to survive, in order to fly under the radar, so to speak, um, to gain other people's acceptance. Because honestly, deeply, one of my biggest fears um, is like rejection, and being like rejected by others, and then having, like, being not a part of society, or being not involved, not included, because I feel different. The feeling of being alienated, and because I'm different. But I'm not different. I'm just like everyone else. Everyone else has this fear. But what I wanted to share was that I'm going to try something new. This is something new that I want to try. So I've spent my whole life pretending to be someone I'm not, in order to protect myself from other people's judgment, right? From a place of deep insecurity in who I truly am. But what I'm starting to feel like I really want to do is, rather than try and like passively, um like let go and heal from like abandonment and rejection wounds, um instead of trying to kind of go about it like a really gentle way, I have this idea. And my idea is that I want to do the like something super radical. I want to start, and I am going to start, doing shameless acts in public. Like, I'm going to start, like, and in people, like, with when I'm talking to people and stuff, I'm going to start saying and doing things deliberately that I know people will judge me for, so that I put myself in uncomfortable situations that I know are going to cause me to be judged, or are going to cause people to feel uncomfortable. Because the biggest thing I try and avoid is making people feel uncomfortable. And I have this belief that me being me is going to make other people uncomfortable. And whether or not that's true, maybe it is, maybe it's not. It depends on whoever is witnessing me. But I know that I can be triggering in whatever way, because I just can be, like, I just have a lot of power in that way, and I'm magnetic, and I trigger people, and I have a lot of light and a lot of, like, power. I get it's all it's truly just power. Like, I have a lot of power to change this world and make changes in people's lives. Well, not even in people's lives, but when, like, it's hard to explain. It's like when people see me, or they feel my energy, or they feel the light that I have, the energy, my aura, like my magnetism. People get triggered sometimes, and, like, so what I want to do is, rather than avoid trying to trigger people all the time, and trying to bend and shape myself in ways that are comfortable for everyone else, to make myself small and make myself, like, basically, like shape shift into different versions of a fake self that I've created to make people comfortable. I'm going to do the opposite of that. And that's my intention. I'm going to do the opposite of what I think people will feel comfortable with. And that intention is being, I'm setting that intention because I want to start getting comfortable with people judging me. I want to get comfortable with making people uncomfortable. I want to find comfort within myself without everyone else being comfortable around me first. Um, so I can start to feel confident in myself, in who I truly am, and feel okay even when people are judging me. Because I just don't feel like at the moment, like at this phase where I'm at right now, I don't feel okay unless I have the acceptance and validation of others. If I don't get it, I get very upset and I get really uncomfortable and I feel really unsafe. And it's like my whole sense of self is dependent on someone else accepting me or whoever's in front of me accepting me. And that's not a very fun place to be because then I'm like selling myself short. I'm not honoring who I really am. And it feels really painful and frustrating, actually. It's like, I'm so like, it's like I feel like I'm held hostage by other people's opinions. And I'm the one doing that to myself because I'm putting their opinion above my own opinion of myself. And I'm putting my priorities in the wrong place, not where I want them to be, where I truly want them to be. I want my priority to be like me and my true authenticity. I want to show up in the world as my true self and be open and have an open heart towards myself and even towards the people that judge me. But and the thing is that true abundance, this is another layer of abundance blocks that I'm working through. True abundance comes from your true self, being your true authentic self. And allowing yourself to receive all of the blessings that come from being your authentic self and showing up in the world as your true self and letting your light be shared out to the world. And if you're pretending to be someone like that, you're not sharing your true light. And any validation that you are getting is being received by a fake version of you. So it's not true validation anyway. And all in all, the only true validation that you can receive is a validation from yourself because everyone else's validation is fleeting. Um, so I am working through this layer of this abundance, this next level of receiving, because my dream, I have a big dream, and I have dreams that require me to be more of myself in order to receive those things, and in order to receive these big dreams and these big blessings that I'm ordering from the universe. um, I need to be me. And that means triggering, that means that I'm going to trigger people. That means that I'm going to be so radically outside of society society's status quo that it's going to be incredibly obvious that I am different, like that I'm unique, that I stand out. And like that scares the shit out of me because I am like, there's that such a big part of me that is so obsessed with people's approval and chasing that and receiving that on a regular basis, that doing anything that jeopardizes that steady flow of external validation that I'm so used to getting is like really fucking scary. Like I'm so scared about that because it's like it's so different, like I've been protected by this persona that I know I can always rely on, that will always get me, well, most of the time get me validation. But the thing is, it's not who I truly am. And it's kind of like, it's off-putting in a way because like people can feel, not that they know that I'm pretending, but they can feel a sense of insecurity and they think it's coming from them. So when I'm pretending, when I'm people pleasing, when I'm chasing validation, when I'm pretending to be someone that I'm not, when I'm acting like this persona, I'm showing people that I'm not being my true self. And they don't know that, but they can feel that something's off and they think that it's them. And so they feel insecure and then they don't be their true self. So I'm in a way disempowering other people because I'm not being my true self. Anyone that I'm interacting with, I'm influencing them too because we're all connected. So if I've got all this power and I'm acting like I'm someone like I'm not, if I'm acting small because of this insecurity, I'm acting out this insecurity within myself and I'm chasing external validation from people who can't really make me feel good about myself truly. And I'm gaining validation about from a fake self that's not really feeding into my true sense of self-esteem in my true self, then I'm not doing anyone any favors, including myself. And I'm not really living fully in my purpose because I'm showing up as someone that I'm not, and I'm receiving and I'm chasing and receiving validation from a fake self. So my what's the word I'm trying to say? Project, my experiment now. I'm going to do a social experiment. My social experiment is that I'm going to start to deliberately make people judge me. Like, I'm going to start doing things that I know are going to create judgment and confusion in people's minds, and I'm just going to let them be confused because it's funny. Like, it's funny because it can be fun, it can be a fun, exciting thing where I'm like, I know this is gonna they're gonna think I'm weird for doing this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Like, they're gonna think I'm weird, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Or like, maybe they're gonna judge me, but I'm just gonna do it. And like, bring on the fucking judgment, bro. Like, that's where I'm at. That's where I want to be. I want people to judge me because I want to start feeling stronger than their judgments. I want to start finding power in allowing them to judge me for being me. Like, that's where my power lies, is allowing their judgments to just be there and stop trying to control how people see me, because that's where my true power lies. Because when I don't need to control what other people think of me, then I don't need to be someone that I'm not. I'm free. I can be whoever I want to be because I'm freeing myself of other people's opinions, and I'm freeing myself of having my priorities in the wrong place. And I'm actually choosing to honor who I truly am, regardless of how that's received by the world, regardless of how that's received by others, regardless of how that makes other people feel. Because being myself is the best thing I can do for this planet. It's the best thing I can do for the people around me. Because even if it does make them uncomfortable, it can't be the wrong thing. It can't be wrong, even if it feels bad. The only thing that makes it feel bad is the judgments that I have about it. That's what makes me feel bad in my body. That's what makes me feel scared and uncomfortable. It's from my own judgments, and it's from my own thinking and my own perceptions and limiting beliefs. That's what makes me feel uncomfortable. It's not wrong being myself. It feels scary because of what I think. It's like I think because I put importance on what other people think. But do I really want to be free? Yes. I want to be free more than I want to bend to other people's will and make people and like manipulate people into liking me, because it's not me that they're liking, it's someone else. It's a complete fake person that I created. It's like a second face. Like, and yeah, I'll say right now, like, there is two-faced energy in my vibration, in my auric field, and it came out of me today when I was meeting with my cousin for the first time in maybe 8 to 10 years. I haven't like seen her in so long, and I just this old version of me came out, and it was so obvious because I went from this authentic version of me today all throughout the day to seeing her, and then I switched into like this people pleasing, self, like, external validation chasing mode of like pretending to be someone that I'm not. And like, it was so obvious to me because I saw it happen. Like, I saw myself switch into this mode, and I was like, how is this so dangerously easy for me to be? Like, it's so easy for me to go into this pattern of behavior, and I'm like, I'm talking differently, I'm saying different things, I'm acting passive, I can't feel my power, I'm feeling nervous, I'm feeling insecure. All of these feelings were coming up, and I'm like, this isn't me. Like, this isn't who I was a few hours ago. Like, I'm like, where did this come from? And I started to question it. I was like, only after I saw her, but when I dropped her off, I was like, I completely just hid myself. Like, I feel like I didn't even share really who I was. Like, I feel like I just agreed with everything, and I didn't share. Like, I didn't. There was so much like fear there that was like blocking me from having like a truly connecting experience with her. Like, yeah, we did connect, but it wasn't deep. Like, and that was because I wasn't going deep, because I wasn't allowing myself to share and open up those parts of myself in front of her, because I was so I was so prioritizing her acceptance, and I didn't believe at that time that what who I am would be accepted. I thought it was would confuse her and freak her out, and I even said that to her. Like, I even admitted, like, look, I'm a very spiritual person. I'm very open for, and I think very differently to most people. Um, and I haven't really shared a lot of that with you because I feel like it would freak you out. Like, that's literally what I said to her. Um, and like maybe that's true. Maybe it would freak her out because like I'm so embodied. Like I'm a I. There's just so many things about me and my colorful self, my personality, who I am, that would confuse the fuck out of people because they have never met that level of themselves. And like in that case, like I'm gonna come across these people in my life, like general society is like this, and like I have to be okay with the fact that I'm going to come across people who are going to judge me because they don't understand me, because they haven't met that level of themselves yet. And like that is the absolute, that is the mountain that I am crossed, that is the mountain I'm climbing right now, that is the obstacle I'm going, that I am bulldozing through right now. With my Aries in Mercury, I am completely like, I'm thinking way differently about this. I'm not trying to make other people feel comfortable anymore. I really want to start to make myself uncomfortable by making other people uncomfortable on purpose so that I can start to feel, I can start to expose myself to being judged by people on purpose, because at least then I have the power. At least then I'm choosing to let myself, I'm choosing to allow people to judge me as opposed to doing everything in my power, bending and being flexible and changing and shifting myself to avoid and run away from and dodge people's judgments, which come to me anyway. They like, when I'm pretending to be someone that I'm not, I get judged anyway. So either way I'm going to get judged. I may as well be my real self and get judged for that, because at least then I'm going to attract like miracles and abundance and blessings. At least then I'm getting judged for being who I truly am, and that's okay. Like, because if I can be judged, if I can get comfortable, and this is my goal, if I can get comfortable, super comfortable, I will get super comfortable with being judged by other people for being who I am, for confusing people, for being random and weird, and for being deep and childish at the same time, and being like just super fucking colorful and like unpredictable and just crazy and like just a very colorful, unique human, like, and powerful, like, and spiritual and like a bit woo woo, and a bit crazy and a little bit like, neurotic, whatever, like super emotional, super sensitive, whatever it is, super loud and aggressive, or like confident and or like whatever. Like, I can be whatever I want to be, and I would really love to just embrace that and be that for myself, so that, and be that in front of other people so that they can judge me all they want and I don't care, because I'm used to getting judged, and people's opinions don't matter more to me anymore than my honoring myself and who I truly am. My true expression is for me, not for anybody else. And I think my values are changing. I'm really starting to value my authenticity and what feels true for me and how I want to show up. And like today was not how I wanted to show up at all. I didn't feel like good about how I was being, because we couldn't really connect deeply. Like, at least I could have, like, I wasn't allowing that connection to happen because I just already in my mind believed she's not going to understand me or accept me for who I really am. So I'm going to be someone who she will feel more comfortable with, which is so sad because I wasn't being myself at all. Like, I wasn't sharing the truth about myself. I wasn't really going deep into anything. Like, it was so surface level, and it was kind of sad because like she's my family, and like I deserve to be I deserve to give people a chance to love me for who I really am, and to be seen for who I really am and accepted for that. And even if people don't accept me, that's okay, because like I still deserve that. I still can receive acceptance from myself, because truly true self-acceptance is my responsibility to give to myself. And yeah, I'm just feeling like really grateful to come to this. Like, I'm really grateful for this experience. It really showed me like how far I have come, but also how afraid and how much I've been avoiding people's judgment, and now how excited I am to take charge and to take my power back by having a certain level of control, or a feeling of control or power over how I am judged. Not how I'm judged, but being judged. Because I'm going to get judged regardless of if I am myself or if I'm not. If I'm pretending to be someone I'm not. If I'm embodying who I am or if I'm not. Either way, there's going to be judgment. I know it feels like it hurts more when you get judged for who you really are, but then there is also that value as well. Like, at least I know the way I think about, there's a value in being yourself, but the way I think about it is as well that if I'm getting judged, if I'm the way that I have in the past thought about it is like the way that my mindset was like, oh, if I pretend to be somebody that I'm not, then when people judge me, which is inevitable, then at least they're not judging the real me, and I can't really take it that personally, because it's not really who I am anyway, you know. So I just pretend to be someone that I'm not, and then I can't really get hurt then, because if people judge me for who I really am, then that fucking hurts, you know. Like, 'cause I'm like, well, why, you know? But that was my kind of mentality. The way that I protect myself is to be someone else, so that when people judge me or reject me, then they're not rejecting the real me, you know? And then it doesn't really feel that bad, but it still feels bad. Either way, it fucking hurts, man. Like, getting judged, it is hurtful. It can be hurtful. When you care about what people think about you, when you place your value and your self-esteem and your like worthiness on what other people think of you, when you define yourself based on other people's opinions of you, yes, then it's going to really fucking hurt when people judge you, because that's how you get your validation, that's how you get your sense of self, that's how you boost your self-esteem, when other people validate you. When you have a steady stream of external validation, and then you suddenly get rejected or judged, or you become aware of someone that doesn't like you or that doesn't give you that validation, and it fucking is, it's scary, you know. And I get that. So I'm just looking at my face. This screen's backwards. Anyway, so moral of the story, I'm going to get judged either way, if I'm myself or if I'm not. Yes, it feels more vulnerable to be myself and be judged for that than it does to be someone else and be judged for that. But at least if I'm being judged, I may as well be judged for who I am, because then at least I'm being authentic and I'm getting the blessings that I deserve. I would rather be a millionaire receiving all my blessings and getting judged by the whole world, but also receiving my blessings because I know that I'm honoring myself and my true self, and my soul is thanking me for it by giving me all of these blessings. Like, I would rather be receiving blessings from the universe, making a difference, showing up authentically for myself and for everyone around me, and feeling healthy in my body, feeling abundant in my life inside of myself, because I'm choosing me and I'm being truthful to who I am. Choosing me being the key word here, like the key phrase. When you choose yourself, you feel full and you feel healthy, and everything is aligned within your body, and your health increases, your mental health increases, your thoughts become more positive. And this all comes from being true to who you are, and choosing to be you, and not choosing to value other people's opinions more than you value being your true self, and being authentic to who you are, being genuine, being real, being true, expressing your true opinions, expressing your true feelings, your true values, even when it makes other people uncomfortable, you know, because you're doing people a favor when you're yourself. The pros of being you and still getting judged, potentially getting judged. The pros are that you're better for people. You're better, you're able to show up better for people around you. That means that they feel more comfortable to be themselves around you. You're helping to other people to be more authentic. Plus, you're receiving more blessings and abundance. Plus, your health increases. Plus, you have personal power because you are able to you're able to express who you are, and um, when those judgments come from other people, which they will come inevitably no matter what you do, um, you're seeing them, and then you're still choosing yourself. Even so, you're choosing to place your value above other people's opinions. And in my opinion, that is the best thing you can do for yourself. And that's what I'm telling myself right now. And that's why I'm making this video, because I want to see how far I've come. This is it's the 14th of August 2024, and it's a perfect time because it's Leo season. Um yeah, it's just a really good time to just show up as yourself and disregard other people's opinions, and actually you can even welcome them. Like, you can even just embrace. This is a good time to embrace other people's judgments, because, like, one thing you can be certain about is that people will judge you. Like, not that you need to walk around being like, oh, I'm getting judged, but like when you can embrace it rather than like fear it and try and avoid it, then at least you're not running away, you know. And at least it feels you like you have power. Like, for me, I feel like I have power when I think about doing something weird in public and then people judging me, but knowing that they're going to judge me because I'm doing something weird. Like, like, society is so fucking predictable. Like, you stand out in front of the crowd, or you stand out of the crowd and people stare. Like, it's so fucking predictable. It's like there's a hive mind, and we're so afraid of upsetting people, and unbalance, and like creating a rift in the status quo, or changing things, or doing things differently to other people, and standing out, or being a tall poppy. Like, we're so afraid of that. And like, why? Because we just don't want to upset people. We don't want to be the one that's different. But like, what if like that's what the world needs, Like, I know that that's what the world needs. I know in my soul that that's why I'm here. Like, that is why I am so colorful and different. That's why I stand out so fucking much. Like, I've always felt like I stand out like a sore thumb. And I've always tried in the past tense. I used to always try to um do everything that I can in my power to avoid people judging me, and in the process losing myself, becoming so detached from myself, becoming so disconnected from who I truly am, because all of my energy is going into learning how to be acceptable for everyone, for the status quo, for the hive mind that rejects people for the most dumb shit, like cancel culture. Like, you can literally get like everyone could turn on you in an instant. Like, it's so predictable, like how society functions, especially where I live right now. Like, tall poppy syndrome is a real fucking thing. Like, but you just got to embrace it. If it's part of your purpose, if it feels right for you, if you feel like you're trapped in a cage because you're trying really hard to just be someone that people like, and that it's just like you feel like you're not enough being who you are, then maybe it's time to actually try being who you are, and try to embrace like being judged. Like, just experiment with it, like in little ways or big ways if you're an Aries, or if you're bold, if you're brave, like jump into the deep end if that's something you want to do. Even if it's something you don't want to do, maybe just try getting someone to judge you. Like, say something like really outrageous, or like, do something that people are going to judge you for, and then do it for the purpose of like just showing yourself that it's not that important, like what people think. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I'm trying to like express it in a way. So, like, for example, I'm going to do something. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I feel like I can just post something online that I know people are going to judge, and I'm going to be like, I know this is going to get judged. I know this is going to receive judgment, but I'm going to do it. Or like just do like a random cartwheel in public or something. Like do something crazy like that. And just like just accept just accept that judgment might come with this, but it's fun, so you're going to do it. Like and it's funny, you know? I'm just going to try this experiment and see how I go. And just because in the spirit of making people uncomfortable so that I can feel more comfortable in myself. It's not about like truly whether what I'm doing is authentic to me. It's about like becoming comfortable with making other people confused and uncomfortable. Because I do like my natural who I am truly can probably make people uncomfortable. Eventually, I will be, when I embody it enough and deeply enough and for long enough, I will attract and manifest a life around me of people that accept me for who I am and embrace it. But for now, in order to receive those people, and that's manifestation of my life, of a whole community of massive, like big communities, multiple communities, and a life where I'm always accepted for who I am and that I can embrace that. I need to first embrace that and accept it in a place where I'm not accepted, in a place where being me makes me stand out and makes people uncomfortable. I need to embrace that part of I need to embrace my whole self in a place where it's not going to embrace me, if that makes sense. I need to do that first, and then that's when the life comes. That's when, it's not like about waiting until I'm surrounded by people who accept me for me to then be myself. It's about me becoming myself in spite of who's around me, in spite of the judgment, in spite of the rejection or the confusion or the misunderstandings that the way that people will receive me. Like, in spite of that, just still being authentic to who I am. And I know it's easier said than done, but that is my experiment that I'm going to do from now on. I'm going to put myself in a really uncomfortable situations that will make people judge me, and I'm going to accept that what I'm doing will come with judgment, and I'm going to choose that anyway. And I'm getting really tired now, so I'm going to stop talking. It's like 8 p.m., but like I've been getting up at 5 a.m. for work, so I'm like fucking. So yeah, anyway. I'm going to do something outrageous and just surrender. Let the judgments flow and let the good vibes also flow. I think what we'll find is that we won't get as much negative feedback as we think we will. Like, I think, yes, maybe you will, but like not as much as you think. It's never as bad or as dark as it seems. Like when you think negative thoughts, like, oh, like I want to compliment that person, but like, is that weird? Like, is it gonna make them uncomfortable? Like, oh, you know, 9 times out of 10, you compliment someone, they're gonna appreciate it. Then that voice in your head that's like trying to not get you to not do it is wrong. So maybe all the judgment that I'm fearing other people will judge me for is in my head, and I'm just believing it because I haven't proven that wrong yet. But maybe it's time for me to prove myself or prove that voice in my head, the ego, wrong. Maybe it's time to prove those fears wrong. Maybe it's time to feel what it's like and embrace the feeling of being judged and just keep going, keep doing it and embrace that. Like, embrace the feeling of being rejected by some random stranger or by a friend or by a family member who doesn't understand. Like, maybe it's okay. Just embrace it. Like, it is okay. And I'm going to embrace that. I'm going to try this. This is really exciting. I feel really powerful. Like, thinking about it and imagining what it's going to feel like when I take my power back and when I make people uncomfortable on purpose, because that's the only way. The only way to get through the fear is to stop avoiding it and do the thing that makes you scared. And what makes me scared is making people uncomfortable. So I'm going to make people uncomfortable. That's my mission. That's what I'm going to be doing from now on for a while, because I just really want to show myself and prove to myself that the fear is not real. Like, it's not real, and it's the only thing that's in the way of my blessings. It's the next layer of abundance that I'm ready to receive, that I want to receive. I'm ready to receive so many more blessings, and in order to do that, it's time for me to be who I truly am, and let people judge me. Embrace people judging me. Welcome it. Say, yes, okay, fine, judge me. Judge me all you want. I'm still going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do the thing. And so what if you judge me? What does that mean? What does that mean about me? Like, your judgment doesn't change me. Your judgment doesn't change anything about who I really am. Who I really am has nothing to do with what you see in me, and just accepting that and becoming comfortable with being judged. I think that's my goal. Yes, because the only way to go around to get through the obstacle is to just face it. So, if I can make people judge me, put myself in uncomfortable situations, that's, for me, that just makes the most sense. It just makes sense. That's how I can heal this fear of being judged by people. That's how I can overcome it. That's how I can transform it and transmute it, is by getting people to judge me on purpose. So, yes. All right, that's all I'm going to share. Thank you for listening. And I hope that this inspires someone, and I encourage everyone to try to do something that makes people uncomfortable, or makes someone in your life uncomfortable. If, like, yeah, just for this, like, nothing harmful, unless, yeah, nothing harmful. I wouldn't suggest that. But do something that makes someone around you uncomfortable. If it's telling the truth, or it's like asking someone for something, or sharing your thoughts about something that they're not going to like, but you, like, know that it's the truth, like, that sort of thing. Or, like, it could be just randomly breaking out into dance in the street, or maybe, like, singing in front of someone, or, like, doing something like that, like, do something that, like, could potentially put you in line, set you up for some fucking judgment, and then just accepting that you might get judged for it, and then doing it, and then seeing what happens. Like, see what happens. Or do something that they're going to judge you for, like something fucking really weird, and then just see what happens, Like, who knows? You never fucking know. Like, you could really prove that voice in your head wrong, and you could really do some really powerful healing. Like, really big transformation can come from this. So, good luck, and wish me luck. And yeah, I'll let you know how it goes in the future. Goodbye, and have a good night.